Thank you for the opportunity for us to share our experience of being the Irish Lighthouse Farm. I want to welcome you to the Devenish Lands of Dowth. Devenish Lands of Dowth is a 185-hectare grassland farm based in County Meath in the Republic of Ireland. We bought it in 2013, and we bought it with the aim to actually see could we physically make a positive difference to the outlook of beef and lamb production, and could we achieve and create a system that would deliver carbon neutral beef and lamb by 2025 while still remaining a profitable farm. And on our journey, we've done many things, and just to give you a hint of that, on the farm, one of the first things we did is we delivered a soil improvement program looking at improving the soil fertility and the soil health. We then went on to measure our carbon sequestration, both above the ground in our trees and hedges and below the ground in our soils. Having done that, we then looked at the whole issue of water quality and the potential runoff of both soil and nutrients off our land and how we could stop that. But within our farm, we've got extraordinary biodiversity created by our woodlands, our hedges, but also we are privileged to host Ireland's top mammal, a herd of wild red deer, and trying to find where is the balance between carbon sequestration in trees vis-a-vis what deer can do when you have too big a population. And if that wasn't a challenge enough, we also farm, the whole farm is situated within a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Brúna Bóinne, where we have 6,000 years of farming evolution within our own farm. We're very privileged to be a member of the global network of lighthouse farms, and it's been an extraordinary journey. And I want to share some of that today. The first thing we did is we actually decided we were going to create some robust baselines, because if you're going to create positive change, you actually need to record where you start, and then you need to go back and repeat that on a regular basis to see your progress. So to give you an idea of some of our baselines, in 2014, we went out and we measured our simple matrix, our soil pH, our soil phosphate, our soil potash. And what we found is the previous owner over 40 years had completely neglected the farm, and that reflected in very poor fertility. In 2017, we went beyond that, and we actually did a comprehensive sampling of our soils to 30 centimetres to measure our soil carbon. And again, we were surprised when we went looking, we found things we weren't expecting. In our brown earth mineral soil, which ours is, and it's been under grassland for 40 years or more, our soil carbon was very poor at 2.1%, against a mean in our area of between 4 and 5%. And it really begged the question, what was going on our farm that left soil carbon levels so low? And that has been part of our journey to investigate what has been going on. Having achieved looking at soils, we tied up in 2014 with Teagasc, the Irish government's Agricultural Advisory and Research Service. And we actually did a LiDAR survey of our landscape. And that LiDAR data we then used to actually measure our carbon in our trees and hedges above our ground level. And it probably came as no surprise. We found that in our hedges, we had nearly 50% more carbon within them than we do in our woodlands. And that sort of makes sense. You can walk through woodland, you can't walk through a hedge because it's more dense. But what we were able to do with the courtesy of Stuart Green of Teagasc was actually work out what we annually sequester from our trees and the hedges. We are on course to deliver carbon neutral beef and lamb by 2025. And one of the key tools we can use is stocking density. We know what we're sequestering on an annual basis in trees and hedges and soils. We can actually mitigate some of that by having less animals, or we can cause more issues by having more animals. And what I've done here is just give you an idea of our sensitivity analysis of livestock against what we sequester and what we emit. And what you can see at 2 livestock units per hectare where we are, we're currently displacing 56% of all our greenhouse gases. We could deliver carbon neutral beef and lamb tomorrow, and to do that, we would have to destock down to 1.25 livestock units per hectare, but then we would be carbon neutral then. Our plan actually is not to destock, because at the end of the day, we have a growing world population who still need livestock products. Our comment is, can we actually get greenhouse gases down, and can we accelerate carbon sequestration at the same time? And I just want to show you what we've done in our Lighthouse Farm around driving carbon sequestration. And it really goes back to our soils. And we have neglected our soils for years and years and years. And that was obvious when we bought Dowth. We had an average pH of 5.5 for a brown earth mineral soil, which was far too low. And every 2 years now, we go back and we precision soil sample and analyze. And we look at the impact of applications of lime that have been applied using precision lime spreaders. And so we put lime on where it's needed and not put it on where it's not needed. And over 6 years, we've completely corrected the soil pH. And we've seen a marked improvement in productivity, but also in earthworm populations and more legumes coming through here. The second thing we did, and this is part of also Dowth, is not just a lighthouse, it's also a living lab. We secured in partnership with Wageningen University Research, with University College Dublin, a grant to employ 5 PhD students to actually investigate the benefits, not only to livestock, but also to our environment, of growing multi-species swards, of moving away from the monoculture of ryegrass and looking at legumes, looking at herbs and the impact. And that has been an extraordinary journey. We've greatly improved our productivity. We've greatly improved our soil biology. But we've also dropped our nitrogen utilization by 65%, which is tremendous. And our thank you to our research partners there. And it's great embedding a living lab within a lighthouse. At the end of the day, we have found our journey as a member of the global network of lighthouse farms really not only enjoyable, but very informative, and actually has made us better farmers. We've learnt and shared from each other. I mean, to have a network of 11 lighthouse farms, 6 in Europe, 5 outside Europe, we all are at the top of our game, but we're doing different things. So that sharing in itself creates great inspiration. But when you bring in great academia and great scientists, you get this catalyst for innovation and to accelerate innovative impact. Prior to COVID, and the year prior to COVID, we had over 50 groups of farming visitors, farming discussion groups with us. And that peer-to-peer learning that we do as a lighthouse farm, I believe has absolutely accelerated that positive change, that positivity in the industry, that there is a future. At the end of the day, for me as the lighthouse farmer, I have really enjoyed the experience. I've really enjoyed building these partnerships. But more than anything, I've also really enjoyed these new friendships. And right where this world is at the moment, it is great to have friends. They may be currently digitally and virtual, but when COVID passes, we will welcome everyone back. And I would welcome all the participants today to come and visit us at the Devenish Lands of Dowth. Thank you.